Hi, welcome to my show. My name is John LaJoy, and we'll be talking about 49ers stuff in a second. I'm just making sure I have audio. And so let's get to talking about what happened last week. Cincinnati versus Baltimore Ravens. Cincinnati score was 20, Baltimore 34. So the Ravens won by 14. Steelers versus the Browns. Steelers score was 10-13. They won by 3. Arizona 16. Houston, Texas 21. Tennessee 14. Jacksonville 34. They won by 20. Las Vegas Raiders won by 13. Miami 20. They won by 7. Dallas Cowboys 33 against the Carolina Panthers 10. They won by 23. Chicago Bears 26. Detroit Lions 31. Hi, Jess. Welcome to the show. Nice to see you watching the podcast. LA Chargers 20. Green Bay Packers 23. They won by 3. New York Giants 31. The Commanders 19. So the Giants won by 12. Tampa Bay versus San Francisco 14-27. Great game for us. Sad part was when Tafunga went out with his ACL tear on his knee. Jair Brown did very well for his first start of the season. First play, he did have one screw up. He was basically flat foot. But he did very good after that one mess up. He got his head into the game, everything. So that was a great look for seeing Jair Brown playing for us in the red and gold. He went to Penn State. So he was up in the draft class for sure. Seattle 16, Rams 17. That was a close game. Rams almost lost that game. And the Rams only won by 1 point. So technically right now the Rams own Seattle. We own the Rams. So, and we'll get into more talk about the upcoming game that is on Thursday. New York Jets 6, Buffalo 32. They won by 26 points. Minnesota 20, Denver 21. That was a very close game. And for Monday Night Football, Eagles versus the Swifties. So it was basically Jason Kelce versus Travis Kelce. So it was a revenge game for that game. Philly came out with the win. KC, a.k.a. the Swifties, didn't have their magic going or something, but both those guys look like we can probably beat them. Every single team can be beat anyway. So now let's get to the San Francisco injury reports. Well, the first guy we don't need to worry about because he's basically special teams mostly, or he's on practice squad. I don't remember. No, he plays. Shamir JC. I ain't trying to butcher no last names. I'm going to use initials. Hardgrave is probably he's questionable, but he should be playing. Spencer Burford, knee injury. I don't believe he's going to be playing this week. Raymond McLeod is questionable, but more than likely he's ready for the game time. Tafunga is out for the rest of the season. The ACL tear during last week's game. Aaron Banks, I believe he did have a practice today, a light practice, or it was the day before. But he should be questionable to play. We won't know until probably tomorrow or by Thursday. And Nick Lazelle is on IR. Drake Jackson's on IR. Now let's get to the Eagles. They have D. Young, wide receiver. He's questionable for the game. Jerry Reed the second is questionable. Jack Bowe is questionable. Willard is questionable. That's a corner for Seattle. T. Brown is questionable. Lockett is questionable. Kenneth Walker III will probably not be playing at all. I don't know until a couple more days. Geno Smith is on the questionable. Not sure if he's going to be playing, but he did come back in the game against the Rams, but his throwing was off a little bit because that soreness in the arm. Let's see if he got it treated. But the other thing is, if they do play him, is he going to be 100%? What if he gets hit in that location again? What if this time it goes out on him? So, pros and cons about that, we would have to see. And the other thing is, thank you for every single subscriber I have. I have 41 subscribers. I'm hoping to get 50 by Christmas, maybe more. Fellow podcasters, Brian Cope, Tony Cope, Dara Raven is a podcaster, Corey Davis, David McNiner, Jess from East Coast Red and Gold with her crew. Great crew, everything. Niner Faithful Radio with Jason and Ty and Jen, I think. Or there's 3 people on that crew. Great crew, too. No Border Sports with Ryan, another good one. TED Talks Ball is another good one. Niner Sickness Podcast with Beto, and he does go on with Jess from East Coast Red and Gold podcast. and Joe Stevens at Seattle Talk. And my last one will be Raiders Bear. And that's another good one if you guys are into a little bit of the Raiders. I got a few friends that's Raiders fans. But he talks about everything. He breaks it down and that type of stuff. So he does have a good show, great podcast people, and that type of stuff. And all right, let's get to the playoff picture now. Going to set up my stuff properly. My fault. All right. There's that one. All right. Let's go from the AFC first for the playoff picture. It will be Ravens has the number one spot now. They took over the Kansas City Chiefs since they lost. Ravens are 8-3. Chiefs are 7-3. Jags. So the Chiefs are the second one. Jags are number 3 at 7-3. So there's 4 teams in the AFC that is tied, basically. But they all have different brackets, everything. So basically, they will be in their positions for a while. Fourth place is the Dolphins. They are 7-3. Number 6 is the Texans. They're 6-4. Steelers are 6-4. Now I'm going to go ahead and get to the NFC R division. Eagles are 9-1. They have the number 1 spot, so they will have a bye. The Detroit Lions, they are 8-2. And number 3rd position is the 49ers, are 7-3. The Saints are 5-5. Cowboys are 7-3. Seahawks dropped all the way to the number 6 position, and they are 6-4. And then we got the Vikings, are 6-5. And most of our guys that's in here right now, anybody from the AFC is going to have to win a few games to be able to bump one of them out right now. So I'll start with finish the NFC list and try to break it down as best as I can. 8th place goes to the Packers. They are 4-6. Rams are in the 9th position at 4-6 too. Number 10 is the Falcons. They're 4-6. Then number 11th is the Buccaneers. So even if they win a game this week and the Vikings win or lose, it's going to take a little bit for them. They got to win like a couple games to be able to take a number 7 position or a number 6 position from any team that is in the playoff pictures right now for this week. Then the Commanders have the number 12th position. They are 4-7. Number 13th is the New York Giants. They have 3-8. So anybody in that position, do I think they could make it to the playoffs right now? More than likely, they're going to have to pull out some magic somewhere and try to win the rest of the season. They try to get close. Chicago Bears are 3-8. So these guys are all iffy. Do I think they can make it? Don't know. So the Arizona Cardinals are 2-9, and the Panthers are 1-9. Panthers are definitely out of the playoffs. They have too much losing to be able to be in the playoffs, if you like to know that. So we'll go ahead and jump to the AFC side. Bills are 6-5, so they're knocking at the door right now to enter to the playoffs. The Colts are 5-5, so they could be in it. The Browns are 5-5; they're still in it. The Bengals, they're on their backup quarterback. Joe Burrow is out because when he got hurt, he's out now. Las Vegas, they lost their game. The Raiders. So they're still in the picture a little bit, but right now we don't know. They're still the dark horse for a reason. They're Vegas anyway. And their jerseys are black and gold anyway, so I like to call them a dark horse. Hi, Bebop. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming and watching, and thank you for being a subscriber too. The LA Chargers are 4-6. They did lose Joey Bosa for the rest of the season. Hope he gets better, like basically with Tafunga and Joe Burrow and the rest of the guys that's on the injury list. We hope they heal up quickly and that type of stuff. New York Jets are in the 14th position. They are 4-6. The Tennessee Titans are in the 15th position. They are 3-7. Yeah, he definitely did go down on the first drive. I was watching the highlights on that one. Beep up. And the Patriots are in the very, very last position. They're 2-8, so they ain't doing that well. Now, let's get to talking about 49ers versus the Seahawks game. So the people I would be more worried about and more details. Basically, tomorrow's pre-recording podcasts with me, Joe Stevens, and Jason Massey from Niners Faithful Radio. We did a podcast pre-recording yesterday. It will be launched tomorrow at tomorrow at 10, since Thanksgiving is on Thursday. That was a great show, great recording, good chat. We talked about a lot of stuff, how the teams are going to be playing, and that type of stuff. And right now, so the key weapons that we need to watch out for is basically Seahawks secondary guys. So they do got some good weapons on their secondary. We got to worry about Weatherspoon. What can we do to jam him up or get him off of the guys that we got to pass the ball? So BA, Debo, and anybody that's going to be lined up on him, we got to make sure that we give our guys enough room to do their magic and run their plays, run their routes, and get away from him. And that type of stuff. We got to worry about Bobby Wagner for a linebacker too. Lenore Wilson, we got to worry about him. He's a D tackle. So, and it looks like the main people for their weapons that we got to worry about is Lockett. Kenneth Walker, I don't think we need to worry about because he's out. But we do need to worry about the other running backs. They do like to hit the hole hard and fast. So their number 2 became their number 1. That's Zachary Cabrero, I believe. If I had Joe would have told me. And then we got to worry about DJ Dallas. His if you look up his picture, it will show that he was definitely not ready for that picture. So we definitely got to worry about him. Do we think that Gino is going to be playing? More than likely. Is he going to be playing Sword? Yes. Do we need to think that we're going to see Drew Lockett in? Maybe. It's definitely going to be a good game. Definitely going to be a good fought hard game. Their line versus ours, we do have a little bit more better line than they do. Once in a while, they are switching out their line here and there. Hi, Brian Cope. Welcome to the show. Do I think they will do any type of damage? Yes. Thank you, Bebop, for that information. The Niners will be wearing their 94 throwback jerseys, too, thanks to a few people that just said that to me, too. And the Seahawks are wearing their lime green jerseys. I know how much we all don't like those ones. I know I don't care for them, and I know a ton of Seahawk fans don't really care for them either, because I'm surrounded by Seahawks. I'm in Washington. I'm close to Seahawks Stadium. I'm very close to the airport that they will be flying into. Since Wednesday at 4 p.m., they will be driving by in Seattle, so everybody can wave to them, yell at them for like 30 minutes, and that type of stuff. And now let's get to basically the 49ers. So I know when me and Jason Massey was talking to Joe yesterday, and that podcast will be dropped tomorrow at 10. He's definitely said our front seven is better than Seahawks front seven. So we do have a very good front line. Is he worried about any of our front seven? No, he didn't say that he was really afraid of them. He had respect for our guys, like we have respect for his guys too. So Spencer Burford looks like he's going to be out. Aaron Banks should be in, if I'm correct. Ronnie Bell wears that number 10 way better than Jimmy G. I also like Ronnie Bell more than I like Jimmy G for sure. If you would like to know that, Bebop. And CMC got back on his touchdown. Going for his record. He has to do it for 17 more games to try to beat the record. And Debo is looking like Debo. He's ready to rock and roll for the rest of the season. BA, magic catch. And I know just from East Coast Red and Gold was there, Ty was there, and a few other guys were there too. So I know for sure they definitely had fun. Jennings, I don't know if Jennings got any catches. I didn't really see him making a catch. If anybody in the chat wants to check it out, they are more than welcome to, and just let me know, and I will do a correction. George Kittle, he made his catches. Great. Juszczyk, I believe, did some catches. And he did his blocking job like always. Good one, Brian. Trent Williams is looking like Trent Williams. So that's very good for Trent. He's doing his blocking job. Let's see if we can get anybody to run away from him again like we did in the Jacksonville game. That was pretty funny. So Aaron Banks should be back. Our center is still the same. Spencer Burford is out, so John Feliciano is moving on that side, if I'm correct. If not, we're going to keep him where Aaron Banks is at. Not 100% sure. So the line will be readjusted. So we ain't sure where everybody's going to be going right now. So we're going to be definitely looking at the right side a little bit more definitely. I know that Colton McKivitz does play, can play the guard position too, like John Feliciano. Matt Pryor should be playing. We don't know yet. And we did pick up somebody, but I'm going to save that for a Friday show. So, but it's out there. It's Ben Bart Chat, and he's from Jacksonville Practice Squad. Hi, Dana Harvey. Welcome to the show. And now the fun parts. The picking of the games for me and my boys. Edwin, you want to pick your teams? Come on over.
You need to say subscribe to Daddy.
Come here so you can pick the teams that you want to pick. Do you want the Green Bay Packers or the Detroit Lions?
Which one? Detroit Lions.
You can look at their stats, or you can just pick what you want. It's these two teams right here, bud. You want the Detroit Lions to win? All right. Washington Commanders or Cowboys? What one do you want to win?
Cowboys.
So he picked the Cowboys. 49ers or the Sea Turkeys? He picked the 49ers.
Bang, bang, Niner gang to Daddy. And subscribe to Daddy.
So these are all our Thanksgiving games. So do you want the Dolphins or the Jets? And that's a special Black Friday on Friday.
Who those?
Don't worry about those. That's Pat McAbee's show.
The Jets.
So you want the Jets to beat the Dolphins. Good pick for him. So
that one.
hang on.
I got
it. Right.
Oh, yeah.
No drawing on my stuff.
No, I'm going to just write my name.
No. Give me a second. Something didn't print right.
No, I'm going to just write my name.
No, it's okay.
It's that easy.
I'm just making sure who the Saints are playing. Oh. Do you want the Saints or Falcons? You want the Saints. Okay. Hi, David McNiner. Thanks for coming on.
And subscribe to Daddy Bang Bang 9 again.
That's for the end of the show. Come here, bud. Edwin, you're not done. So, do you want the Steelers or the Bengals?
Those Steelers.
All right. Carolina Panthers or the Texans?
The Texans.
Will Levis's team. Put that down.
Okay. The Cowgirls or the...
We already done the Cowgirls.
I want to root for the Cowgirls.
You did. Buccaneers or the Colts? Do you want Uncle Jason's team or do you want the Buccaneers that we just beat? You want the Colts to win.
Colts.
Now, do you want the Patriots or the New York Giants?
The Patriots.
Okay. Do you want the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Texans?
The Jaguars.
I know who I would pick.
You forgot these two.
No, we didn't. We got them.
I want this one.
You already picked your team.
What about the others?
We are still picking.
This one.
So you want the Jaguars.
That's one of my names.
So do you want the Browns or the Broncos? Brain fart. Oh, what?
Broncos.
You want Bronco country? Let's ride. All right.
Do now. Forgot these two.
I'm just
I want this one.
making sure I got everybody. So do you want the Rams or the Cardinals?
The Cardinals.
You want the Cardinals to win. All right. Do you want the Kansas City Chiefs or the Raiders?
The Chiefs.
What was that?
The Chiefs.
All right. Go get, and we got one more page if I'm correct.
Okay.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. You want the Bills or the Eagles to win?
The Bills.
Bills. Do you want the Ravens or the Chargers to win?
The Chargers.
Okay. Do you want the Bears or the Vikings?
Which one am I going to pick?
Just pick one. It's Monday.
Oh.
Pick one.
My closed eyes. Start.
So he wants the Chicago Bears.
I was closing
All right,
my
go
eyes.
get your brother.
Subscribe to Daddy. Bang, bang, not again.
That's usually the ending, but it's not the ending yet.
Bobby.
He's going to get his older brother. I'm going to try to do shows like this with my kids so they can get used to doing picking and watching football, learning.
Okay.
Robbie, come on. You got to pick your teams. That would be my son, Robbie. All right, you cannot look at who your brother picked. Do you want the Packers or the Detroit Lions?
The Lions, because that I heard you over the TV.
So do you want the Commanders or the Dallas Cowgirls?
I'd take Cow Babies.
So he picked the cow. He calls them the Cow Babies, if you like to know.
Us.
And his mom is a Cowboy fan too, if you guys like to know that one too.
Us.
All right, so says I know that you won't be rooting for the Sea Turkeys. So, do you want the Dolphins or the Jets?
I'd say Jets.
Wow, Robbie, the Jets. Do you want the Saints or the Falcons?
Ooh,
Do you want to see their stats first?
sure.
Stats might help you a little bit to pick your teams. That's their stats. They're 5, 4, and 6.
I'd say Saints.
Saints.
Mm-hmm.
They have Derek Carr.
Bang, bang, not again.
So, do you want the Steelers or the Bengals? They do not have Joe Burrow on. Joe Burrow is out for the rest of the season because of his injury.
I would say Steelers. That says Steelers.
Don't worry about it. Pick one.
I said Steelers.
You pick the Steelers, okay. Do you want the Panthers or do you want Tennessee with Will Levis? This one.
I'd say
I was watching
number
you.
2. Everyone go.
No.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Do you want the Buccaneers or Uncle Jason's team, the Colts?
Uncle Jason's team.
Here, Edwin.
Go to our room.
Get on the bed, bud. So, do you want the Patriots or the Giants?
Giants.
That's definitely going to be a good game, but a low-scoring game. Do you want the Jaguars or the Texans with D'Amico Ryan as their head coach?
The Jack.
You want the Jags.
Yeah.
All right. Browns or the...
Browns.
So you don't want to go with Russell Wilson and let's ride with the Broncos?
Pick the dog.
All right. Do you want the sorry Lambs chops or do you want the sorry Cardinals? This one's going to be a coin toss anyway.
Sorry, lamb chops.
The sorry lamb chops. Sorry lambs. So do you want the aka the Swifties or do you want the blackout Raiders? All right.
Not going with the Swifties.
So do you want the Bills or do you want the Eagles? Where they do the Broly push. Both of them are good.
I
Still,
would say Eagles.
technically, we do need them to lose a game too, but I don't think they will lose that game. So, do you want the Ravens as hot team that has the number 1 position, or do you want the LA Chargers without Joey Bosa?
Ravens.
All right. So, do you want the Chicago Bears or the Minnesota Vikings with Josh Dobbs as the quarterback?
Right.
They did lose last week's game, but it was very close too.
Yeah, I'll go with Vikings.
All right. That's it. Go have fun.
Thank you.
Now, my picks. I am definitely picking the
Bang, bang, not again.
my kids are weird sometimes. Sorry about that. I had to shut my door. I'm picking the Lions. I would like the Commanders to win, but no, my luck. I have a funny feeling that.
Bang, bang, not again.
Shut the door, please.
Subscribe to Daddy Bang Bang 9 again.
That is their job to do that for me. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Cowboys. I don't think they're going to lose, but I do hope they lose to somebody else, like the Eagles. I gotta find a piece of paper. Was doing some stats with the Eagles stuff too. Thank you, Bebop, for that. I'm definitely picking our guys over the Sea Turkeys. I trust our guys. Hi, Jason Massey. Thank you for showing up. Our show drops tomorrow at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Definitely a good show. Jason and Joe was good co-hosts too. And Dolphins versus the Jets. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Dolphins. They are on a hot streak. They are doing good. Thank you, Brian, for that compliment. I know you guys always have a good show, too. Everybody in the podcast always has a good show. And I can see my chats popping. Thank you, guys. Saints versus the Falcons. All right. I'll go ahead and go with the Saints, too, with Derek Carr. I really don't care for the Falcons that much. Only time I paid attention to the Falcons was when Deion Sanders was on that team a long time ago. All right, and Steelers versus the Bengals. Definitely going to be a good fight if they had Joe Burrow. So I'm definitely picking the Steelers in that department. Carolina Panthers versus the Tennessee Titans. I'm going to have to pick the Titans. I don't think the Panthers could win a game, but they are still young. They still have some good key players on that team and that type of stuff. So the Bucs versus the Colts. I'm going to have to go for my brother's team, the Colts. I'm a year and 4 days apart from my brother. My brother is a U.S. Marine. That's why I have the Marine Corps flag parked right there, supporting my brother that was in the Marine Corps. He made sergeant, if you guys like to know, and he works at hotels now. I can name one hotel that he worked for. It was the Hyatt Hotel. And he ran that very good, like he was in the military. Patriots versus the Giants. That's going to be definitely a coin toss. But I think I'm going to go ahead and root for the Giants because they are a little bit better, but I don't like both teams for a reason. Yep, Jason did have a great show too. I was watching it before my podcast too, Jason, if you like to know that, buddy. Jaguars versus the Texans. Ooh. I really think D'Amico can take down Jaguars. So I will go ahead and go with the Texans and let my kids root for the Jags. So if they win, they win. I'm happy anyway. If they beat me, they beat me. I ain't too worried about it. Browns versus Les Ride. Jags are good, but I think D'Amico has his weapons, Brian. So that's going to definitely be a good match to watch on Sunday. If I can watch it, I'm watching that game for sure. I got to check my listing and check it. Browns versus the Les Rye team. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Yes, that's very true. But do you think that the Browns can take them? Because we know what they did to us. And they did have a good fought this last week's game. And the Browns did fall, too. Very good point right there, Brian. Because the Broncos are 5-5. They could win if they want to. But the Browns, they don't have their quarterback either. Who is the Browns' backup quarterback now? That's $100 questions. Oh, you took the Browns? I would too. So I'll go ahead and take the Browns as well. But nice maneuver, Brian. I like that one. That got me thinking. But does anybody know who the Browns are having as quarterback? That's a $100 question right there. Let's see who their backup quarterback is. I know a few of you guys are watching and looking it up yourself too. DTR? Oh, yeah, the rookie, DTR. He came from UC Berkeley, if I'm correct. Yes, he did. UC Berkeley, went to college. And he's 6'1", 191 pounds. He probably would do a good job. I know I was looking at him during the draft period. I was checking up stats and that type of stuff. Do I want the LA Rams to win or do I want the Cardinals to win? For David McNair, I'm going to say the effing Rams, or do I want the Redbirds to win? They did beat Seattle by 1 point. I'll say that in a little bit. Do you want the Chiefs or the Las Vegas Raiders to win? I know the Chiefs came off a bad loss against the Eagles. I know they're a little bit sour from last week's game. And I know the Raiders lost, so the difference would be who wants the game the most. And since I don't care for KFC, aka the Swifties, that much, I'm going to go ahead and pick the Las Vegas Raiders. I have friends that's Raiders fans and that type of stuff. And I try to support my friends and that type of stuff when they have other teams. So I am going to pick the Raiders for that game. And I got to remember, so Bills versus the Eagles. Who do I want to win? See, if the Eagles win a game, we're still behind them. Thanks, Brian. Let's go, Raiders. The Bills. I think I'm going to go ahead and pick the Bills versus the Eagles because we do need them to lose. But knowing all luck, they will probably get the win. But they're going to have to do it in a fighting way. But I'm still going to pick the Bills. Bills Mafia. They call them the Bills Mafia, if you guys like to know. But I think you all know that one. So, do I want the Chargers to win or do I want the Ravens to win? I know what Levi would pick. He would pick the Ravens. But the Ravens are having a very good hot streak right now, so I will go ahead and pick the Ravens for that one. Bears versus the Vikings. No question right there. I would pick the Vikings for sure. But it's definitely going to be a good fight because the Bears do got some talent now. Now, the Rams versus the Cardinals. So, they're both in our division. They both are at the bottom of our list. The Cardinals would have had a better shot if they did keep Josh Dobbs, but they got Mighty Mouse now as their quarterback. We know how he likes to roll and play. Matthew Stafford does a good job, except when they play against us. And they haven't won another Super Bowl since that first one that they basically bought because they got a ton of good players and won the Super Bowl and not really want to talk about that one. So I will go ahead and pick the Rams, as what David McNiner says all the time. So who's ready for Thursday football on Thanksgiving? We got 3 games. Who's ready for that game? Our game is the primetime game up here in Seattle. And I know I'm ready to start watching football during Thanksgiving cooking. Very happy that we do got a 49ers game to watch. It's at the end of Thanksgiving, so let's all get our Thanksgiving grub in, eat. And I know 2 out of 3 games I'm happy for. Cowboys game, not really. I don't care for the Cowboys, but I'll still watch it. And because I do hope the Commanders do win. And Magic Johnson is part owner of the Washington Commanders. And then that night for Thanksgiving, we have 49ers versus the Sea Turkeys. I know some Seattle fans won't like hearing that one, but I'm definitely saying it. And then Friday, we have the Dolphins and the Jets for the Black Friday special on prime time. Definitely watching that game at 10 a.m. Don't vote it. I believe it's 10 our time. Oh, I bet the turkey leg is good at the halfway field. Going to be on the Seahawks field. We definitely want the Niners to win. Everybody, please put your score predictions in the game. Thank you, Brian. You're saying 49 to 3. That's definitely going to be a high scoring game. We definitely are going to have to take care of a few good pieces. 35 to 0. Good prediction. I'm sort of thinking probably, I believe I picked 32, if I'm correct. I don't. I would say about 35 to Bebop, to probably 10, maybe 12 for the Seahawks. I can see us probably doing, because the last few games we have been doing some fumbles. I'm going to say probably 2 fumbles that we can recover from Seattle. And I think we will have a couple interceptions. 2. So I would say probably 2 interceptions. I'm going to go ahead and pick Fred Warner, and I know Greenlaw wants one very bad. So I'm going to say 2 interceptions. I hope we can pressure Geno where he can't throw the ball at all. And if he's hurt, he's hurt. Then we go against Drew Lock. Not to worry about him too much because he was back up, but he could do something. They do have good pieces. So, yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. I don't know if he's going to play or not, but Joe Stevens thinks that he's going to be playing. He did come back in the game, but he was throwing off, and that's one thing I did point out yesterday in my pre-recording podcast. That's going to be launched tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. And I know Lockstreet's game, we did very well and that type of stuff against Baker Mayfield. Brock Purdy's 2-0 against the Buccaneers. Now we got to play against Seattle, and Brock Purdy does have the lead on them. Brock Purdy has won 2 games out of last season playing against Seattle. First time he played, he had bruised ribs. This time, he's nice and he's good to go, and we're ready to rock and roll. Let's get that win, and let's keep on doing the W, 1 game at a time. Get the win. Now I got to get my son's attention. Edwin, say it.
Subscribe to Daddy.
What else?
Bang Bang Niner Gang.
All right, everybody, happy Thanksgiving, and hope that we come up with the victory on Thanksgiving. Let's get the win, and my pre-recording will be launched tomorrow, and then I will have my Friday show at 10 or about 10:30 a.m. Hi, Robbie. Everybody saying hi to you. Let's go 49ers. Let's get that win, and we'll all catch you later.
Subscribe
Peace.
to John LeJoy.